everybody, my name is Kyra and welcome to Nifty Knitting with Kyra. This is our very first activity and episode of the Nifty Knitting Club this summer. I'm so excited to see the amazing crafts that you make as you learn how to knit with me this summer. So let's get into it. Everybody, welcome to the Crafting Corner where we're going to learn a little bit about this little guy before we get started. So, knitting is a super fun activity, super easy, super enjoyable, super relaxing activity to do. But there are a few things that you need to know about knitting before we get started. So this form of knitting that we're going to be doing is called loom knitting. With loom knitting, you are using a loom instead of two needles. So our looms are going to look a little bit like this guy, but you won't be using him for a long time, because before we start big, we have to start small. So inside of your craft kit, you should have seen your knitting loom. So your loom is going to have 12 pegs around it, also with this hook peg at the top. Also included inside of your craft kit is this knitting hook. So this hook is really super awesome. It's not sharp at all, but do not leave this on the floor. You do not want this to poke you. It does not feel great. It's not going to hurt, but it doesn't feel good. Also, inside of your bag is going to include this little guy. This is our little knitting needle. It's made out of plastic, it's bendy and stuff, but you do not want to step on this either. It's also not fun. It's like stepping on a Lego. Nobody enjoys that. Included also are these two, I call them cakes, but these are two yarn balls. You're going to need both of them that are inside of your pack for today. And then also an at-home thing that you'll need are these scissors. Everybody needs scissors. This is a scissor activity, so you're going to need to use those throughout your crafts. Make sure that you're being very careful. If you need any help, feel free to ask a grown-up. So this week, our very first craft of the season are these super cute, super adorable little flowers. These are super easy to make, and I'm going to be showing you a few of the different types of knots that you'll have to use and the different types of activities and things that you'll need to do while you're making these little guys. Okay, so you know what? I think I'm going to switch up the view and show you how to do it. So welcome to the new view. So this is what you're going to need. You're of course going to need your knitting loom with all of those pegs, and right now we're just going to worry about this little anchor peg right here. It's super important. So we're going to learn how to do our very first knot. So this knot is the easiest knot to do besides just tying it down. So now what we're going to do is we're creating our slip knot. So you're going to pull your yarn. You're going to hold it from this end, and you're going to pull your yarn from this right here. Okay? And then we're going to slide it over just like this. And then you're going to pull this little guy up right here, and you're going to pull this hoop through your knot like that. So your knot should be able to tighten and loosen when you pull it. So now you're going to, using this anchor peg right here, little anchor peg, you're going to slide the knot onto the anchor peg, and then you're going to pull through just like that. And so it's now attached to your loom. Now, make sure that your loom is facing you the same way mine is facing me, and you're going to go just like this, and you're going to slide it directly across. Now you can go this way if you're left-handed, or you can go this way if you're right-handed like me. So what you're going to do is you're going to swoop this little peg over just like that, and you're just going to keep sliding all around the pegs. Make sure that you are catching the hoop that is directly across from it. So see, this one is directly across from this one. You're going to want to slide it just across like that. So here we go. And make sure you're seeing me push these down. Make sure that your flower, your yarn pieces for your flower are always going to be pushed down to the bottom of your peg. So they're always going to sit right there at the bottom. I know when you go around, it's going to be super easy for them to slide up to the top, but just make sure that you're pushing those little guys down. So now what you're going to do, you're like, okay, Kyra, well, I got to the end. Nope, you still got a lot more work to do. So you're going to slide it over again. You're going to do this one just like that. And if, say, you forget, oh, I forgot to push my pegs down every time, all you have to do is just press the center like a button. just like that. So now we're just going to keep going around, just like that. And so now each peg should have 2 loops on them, which is great. That's your first round. We're going to actually do 2 rounds on this one. So we're going to do what we started when we started. You're going to hop over on this side, and you're going to do another loop. Loop-de-loop. Here we go. So you're going to just keep track of those. And it's okay if it comes loose, or if you have to start over again. Practice, practice, practice. The more that you practice this, the better you're going to get at it. Then see, we're going to keep going around. And see, now you're like, okay, well, I have 3 loops. We're going to do one more, one last one. Then you're going to go one more little swoop through each peg, just like that. Here we go. There we go. And then you should end on this end where so you should end right here where you started. So now what you're going to do is make sure that you're pushing those down. Make sure that they're sitting at the bottom of your loom. You're going to hold on to this. I strongly suggest that you just put one finger and you hold on to it right there. And then, so now we're going to go to our little slip knot. You're going to get your hook out right here. And you're just going to pull that hoop off of the anchor. So right there, see how I pulled that off? And then you can just pull this forward and loosen it up a little bit. Now what you're going to do is you're going to slide this all the way across, and you can let this little guy go because he's not going anywhere now. You're going to pull this right here just like that, and then don't worry about the pegs. What you're going to do is you're going to slide this piece. You can push it with your finger, and you're going to slide it. And see, I'm turning my loom upside down, and I can see that piece. You're just going to pull it right through just like that, nice and gently. And now you're going to grab this little guy right here, and I suggest that you give it a little bit of distance, and you're going to clip it right there. And then now you're going to pull that part all the way to this end where the anchor peg is, and you're going to just push it right through, just like in the same way you did your anchor peg. And so you can flip it over, you can pull it out just like that. And so now I'm going to show you the absolute easiest part of this craft. You're going to pull these up. You're going to pull them up, and you're going to tie them down. There we go. Here we go. And so that part is done. So you can put this piece away. So now, don't worry about these little guys. Leave them hanging at the bottom, okay? So now what you're going to do is you're going to grab your next ball of yarn, okay? And you're going to need this little friend right here. So what you're going to do, I always clip the end if it looks like this, if it looks like it's unraveling. Just clip it just a little bit so you can have a clean end. And then you're going to slide that into the little hole inside of here. So you just slide it in. Something easy to do is you just move the piece of yarn in between your fingers like that, so you can get it a little bit of a blunt piece. And then you're going to slide this in here. There we go. And it's going to slide through just like a regular knitting needle. So now what I suggest that you do is we're going to create the center of our flower. So we're going to create this little area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide this right here. I'm going to slide it right next to the peg. I'm going to slide my needle in just like that. And I'm going to push, if I can get my scissors out of the way, I'm going to push this little guy through here. So I'm going to keep going with my diagonal pattern, and I'm just going to pull this over on this end, just like that. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it through just a little bit, just like that. You're going to pull your pieces through. Okay, so now we have this little guy on through. So now what you're going to do next is you're going to go to the next peg, and you're going to slide it up in here just like that next to this side. You're going to slide it up, and you're just going to pull, pull, pull. So you have just enough yarn to come through. And make sure, and it's okay if these get caught in your stitches, it'll be all right. We're going to clip those in a little while. So now you're going to go over to the opposite end and you're going to pull it down, pull, 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 just like this. And see if they get caught around the pegs, that is a-okay, because we are going to, you're just going to pull them through. Okay, so now we're going to keep going through this peg. See, we're all the way on this end. We're going to hop onto this peg right here, and we're going to pull it through. And see, this is super, super easy to do. This is basic sewing. So this is a good mixture of knitting and sewing together. There we go. See how mine got caught up in there? I'm just going to pull them out and then slide through. Also, my finger got in the way every once in a while. Here we go. Then you're going to slide this little guy through. Just keep going. And you see how it's creating a little area at the top, so you can keep pushing those through here. And the same way that our flower ended at the top with the first round, your stem is going to end at the top as well, which is okay because we're just going to go through it twice to make sure that it's nice and tight and put together. So you're going to keep pulling those through. See how those anchor yarns get caught in there. It's okay. There we go. A little more. There we go. And see, we're ending at that top spot again, just like that, which is a-okay right there. You're just going to keep tugging those right through the loom. So you're like, okay, Kyra, I got it through. You're going to slide this little guy through one more time for your first round, which is just perfect. Make sure that you pull out quite a bit of yarn though, because you don't want to come to this point and then you have half an inch of yarn. So see, we have it, it looks a lot like this right now. So now we're also going to continue with our pattern. So you're going to slide through one more time. Oopsie. And you're going to slide this little guy up here at the top, just like that, on its opposite match. Just like this. And then see, we're going to go to its neighbor and we're going to slide that one little through right there. We're going to keep going. We're almost there, guys. You see? And see, the more that you practice, the faster that you can go. There we go. Slide it through, because we want to make sure that our flower is nice and tight in there. We don't want it to slip or come loose. Here we go. And see, these flowers are going to be really great if you make a bunch of them. You can make a flower crown with them. You can add them to little things. Here we go. There we go. And we're going to slide this little guy through here. Just like this. Gonna make sure and see if, say you lose track of where you are, you can just flip that little guy over, and I just keep track of it from right here, and I can do the next one right there. It happens to me all the time. I lose my stitch all the time, and it's okay because I just keep going through. Here we go. See, we're getting pretty close to that top spot too. So after we get back to our anchor in a second, we are going to slide that through. And see, we have this little piece that's running loose right there. It's okay. Okay, and see, now we're coming to a close. We're almost there. Uh-oh, what do we do? See, that's why it's important to pull those out every single time, because then you're going to get mistakes like that, which is okay. You're just going to tug it through. Just super easy, just like that. There we go. And so see, we're coming pretty close to that anchor. Got one more slide through effort. we cannot make that mistake again. Oh my goodness. Here we go. You're going to make sure that you pull just like that. You're going to just slide that, and then you're going to, we're back at where we started. And so now what you're going to do is you can pull your needle off of your yarn, and you can grab these right here and go and do a little bitty clip, little swoop, little clip just like that. And so the same way that you did this one, you're going to clip the end of it just like that. So see now, and you can tie these down just like we did last time with the white one. And then we're going to take both of these sides, take both of them, you should have two in your hand. You should be able to clip just like that. You're going to be able to tie them together and make sure that it's all nice and tight. We want these to stay together forever. So we're going to keep going just like that. And there we go. We have our little stems. And then see, I cut them to an even length. See these right here? You're going to just pull them forward and just clip them just like that. So now you're going to pick up for the last time your knitting hook, and then you're going to come up to the anchor right here, and you're just going to pull them off of your hook. So they're going to be a little bit tight on there, but that's okay. Just going to keep pulling those petals off. See, I'm just going in a circle. You can pull them, and see if it's easier, just pull off 2 loops at a time, just like that. Ooh, just like that. See, we're getting closer and closer. Just like that. And see, pretty soon it'll be like, oh, we're nice and loose now, so you can just pull us off with your hand. And there you go. That is your very first craft. There we go. See, we have our little petal on the inside. Super cute. And see, you can tie them together and put them all over. Make a little bouquet with them. Make sure that you share these crafts with me. Make sure that you check out our Zulu B. Wiley Public Library Facebook so I can see what you're doing. So, and I can't wait to see you guys next week at the same time where we're going to be creating our next craft. So, thanks you guys. Stay nifty and stay crafty. Bye.